Hello, hello, hello. Andrew here for catskullGameing. How's it going, everybody? And we are back with another Dev Diary. This time I am been playing a little bit of Titanium Court. Why have I been playing Titanium Court? Because it is a good game. You gotta play good games to make good games, and there's a lot of really good stuff to learn from this game. And the developer is the only indie developer to have won the Triple I Show, or the Rand McNally Prize, twice. So he clearly knows from a design perspective and from an industry perspective what it is to make a game that stands out and is capable of winning that kind of prize. Does that mean it is a great game? Does it mean it's a fun game? I think it's fun. I think it's really good. But I don't think he's going to be making millions and millions of units sold on it. It's just not that type of game. It's a match 3. It does some really interesting things. Has an interesting color palette and design scheme. And why am I talking about this in the Dev Diary? Because one of the things that he does that's really interesting is simple color palette, but the way that he tells the story, the narrative that he uses, is through this match 3 setup. And he does different things. So this is the basic match 3. This is the map. I'll actually abandon this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play through this, and I'll fast forward it to the end. So as he battles, and that, where it's like the swoosh for a victory. Stop. You get the stop signs. That stuff is really cool. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, the way that it tells its story, goes about telling its story through the use of these little pop-up windows is very interesting, and it's something that I think will help me in my own storytelling in our game. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get a couple more of those to pop up to showcase them. So that's one of the things that I like about what it does. When it puts forward those basic images, it's not like you just won the victory or battle. It's you just won, you hit the ball good. You pulled the thing and it knocked the tower over or something. But it's that, hey, you succeeded. It's a little image of success. And it gets the idea and the concept of what should be felt instead of an actual image of what should be there. I don't know if I want to do the same thing in my game, but also it's that animated activity of it popping up. And in some of them, it will do multiple of them, where the frame itself will move and animate, but not the image. The image remains flat. And that's a really interesting way to create interest on the screen that draws your eye and changes things up, but isn't costly in a way to produce the effect. It's still a flat image, but it's given a little bit of life, it's given a little bit of character, and by using it over and over again, it creates this kind of visual language that helps reinforce the story. And that's something that I really want to do in my own game. So, speaking of my own game, we head over to Godot. Been doing a little bit of work over the past couple weeks, really trying to focus in on the opening section, getting all those little bits, just get them in. I'll work on making them good later. So I want commercials for this opening. So I just got some videos that were commercial, public domain, got them in. There's like this little volume knob which does stuff like that. I would like to finish up the rest of the knobs, have this one click through the commercials, have this load your last current where you were most recently, stuff like that. Have this do a little thrum with whatever's coming out. Then when you start, opening narration, so right here I have it set up now in the narrative manager so I can put in things to happen a little bit easier. So right here, when it gets to No time for questions. Look to the center screen. These are right here. I want each of these expeditions to flash in front so that you can see exactly what's said there. And then the dice to flash. There's an attract there, so you know, hey, there's that and that. And then placement, have each of those center ones kind of flash. And then have the roll button flash. And then have it open up so that you can set that in. I'm going to set it up so that there's probably those two already filled as well. And then here, just kind of need to connect this so that you have general information about what you're going into. And then this is as far as I've gotten with the next bit of tutorialization. So here's explaining a little bit about how you play the game, and then it gets you into this part. And that's about as far as I've gotten. So we go back into this part, and obviously we need this score to match up against this score. And it wasn't enough, so it just kicks us out. If we had beaten it, we would have gotten an end screen, and it goes back into the expeditions, everything reloads. So getting those things connected and just in there. They look like gas, but we want them in there so we can start to get the stuff functioning, so we can actually read it. See, how does it look? How does it feel? You know, how does it, you know, when you first jump in, what is that initial experience like? And so working on that just to get that loop more complete, especially that first time loop where we have the basic tutorialization that lets the player know just like, these are the buttons, this is how the game works, this is the basics, and then a deeper tutorialization that is opt-in. So once you get done with that first section, you would go back to the expedition part, back to here, and in here there would be a way to flip this switch to a tutorial or something like that would then pop up, and you'd have a list of explainers on some of the deeper subjects and some of the, you know, more intricate ways about how the game is played if you need that. The idea being that keeping tutorialization light enough so that the player can skip quickly through it if they already know it, but if they don't, they get the basics to at least play the game. And then if they want that deeper knowledge, it's there when they're ready to go dig for it. Hopefully that gets the player playing right away, interested in how the game works, and then immediately kind of in the loop and playing and doing that loop to kind of draw them in and be activated in their play as fast as possible. You know, give them what they need to contextualize and to make sense of what they're doing at the most basic level, and then let them discover and learn the depth and breadth of what we're trying to make as they play through it. And that's what I'm working on, just getting it in, you know, get it in first, make it look good second, is so true, because it's so much work just to get it in, to make sure that these things pop up and that things just populate. I spent all morning working on the narrative manager so that I can do that, hopefully. We'll see. I got the scene switching and able to pop up and able to do the fading in and out as kind of a test, so that I can add some more character, so that all those things that I wanted to do when it gets to those beats happen. But that's what I've been working on. I'm excited about this part. I'm back in it. I was feeling a little drained the past couple weeks, but playing some Titanium Core, still playing Marathon, has really kind of helped give me a chance to just reflect and like play some games and remember, like, yeah, I want to make a game because I like playing games. And it's been good. It has kind of, I can feel that itch to spend more and more time working on this and less time playing those other games. Because, man, I was mainlining Marathon pretty heavily because it got its claws in me and I just couldn't get out. It was so good. Well, it is so good. I'm actually going to go play a couple rounds of it here in a second. But that's it for me for this week's DevDiary. We are going to keep working on this, me and Dayton and Jim, whenever he's ready to come back. And we'll, once we got something for somebody else to play, we'll hit you up. I am also trying to give back to the community by play testing other devs' games, mainly just trying to look on Reddit to see who's asking for it, and then recording a video of me play testing their game. And that's been really fun. I got another one I'm going to do here I really don't know how to do that. And by hopefully helping them, I'll get some feedback whether I'm doing good or not. And as I start our own play testings, hopefully this experience will give me an idea of what it's like to be the player and help me better develop my own play testing criteria so that we can get the most out of that. But that's it. I don't know why I can't talk. That's it for me this week. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. If you got this far in the video, please like, subscribe to all the YouTube things, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, hey, bye. Thanks.